A visit in the black township of Thokoza, near Johannesburg. For Professor Jennifer Kromberg and her assistant, it's nothing unusual. For 25 years, the doctor has been working together with those who are often outcasts of their own society. Those who are physically and socially handicapped, or blacks that are white, albinos.
They are at very high risk for getting skin cancer, and so the first thing we do is make sure that we check their skin and make sure that it's healthy. So we have been looking at her to see if her hands are all right. Everything is fine here. You can see she's got beautiful, smooth skin. She does use the cream that we give her, which is an anti-sun barrier cream, regularly, and so she has got very good skin actually. But then we also check these. She does develop some pigmented patches, and these patches are patches of skin that develop in about half our albinos. It doesn't develop in all of our albinos, because we know that even amongst the types of albinos there's some subtypes. He's her little boy, and he is normally pigmented, as you can see, because he's only got one gene for albinism. When the mother has a child, the child only gets half the genes from the mother. And even though the mother has got 2 genes for albinism, the baby has only got 1 because she got half the genes from the mother. So he's definitely a carrier of the albinism gene.
2 albino genes are necessary, one from the mother and one from the father, for a child to be albino. Gloria and Patience are the only whites in their family. They live with their 4 children in a hut.
Born 1965.
Mina kusho ukuthi ngeke ngaba ne-problem. Angithi yambona i-firstborn yami le uDumsana. Ukunokunomuno babakhe ngithi. Kubaba kaDumsana ngaba nenkinga. Abanye kusho ukuthi masicabana nabo basithuka ngokudalwa kwethu bathi lezi zinto ezingaboni, lezi zinto ezinentamo eshwabene. Kunentamo eshwabene yabona.
What we have to do now is to actually sequence.
Recently, scientists have discovered that genes on chromosomes 9 and 15 are responsible for pigmentation defects.
We need to find out what in the DNA, where the genes are for albinism, or the changes or the mutations that have caused albinism, and we can do that by doing high-tech work.
In South Africa, there is 1 albino for every 2,000 births. In Europe, the ratio is 1 albino every 16,000 births. There's still no preliminary tests to detect the defective gene. Anthony Ngwenga lets himself regularly be examined. He knows the illnesses of the albinos: skin problems, cancer, impotence. He wants to help other albinos to overcome their difference. He also tries to raise funds for the Albino Organisation.
They suffer from, what I call short-sightedness, and they have, they get this photophobia. They cannot face the sun directly. Obviously, it's because of lack of melanin. So when the light hits the back of the eye, which is the retina, it diffuses back. So their vision becomes so blurred most of the time. So the first complication is that one of the eyes.
Yeah, talk in English. You're going to have
The 44-year-old has 9 brothers and sisters. 5 are black and 4 are albinos. His parents were normally pigmented, like his children and grandchildren.
Huh?
When people scorn at you, or when they try and pull a mickey out of you, you're not going to change. They can call you names, you won't change. So I think that's why I accepted the fact that albinism is a manageable condition. And we are hoping that we'll instill this whole thing with other people.
The Organisation for Albinism has its office in the centre of Johannesburg. Children and adults come here for information. Seminars are held to try and put an end to the old myth that albinos aren't normal. Like most albinos, Mumsy is unemployed. Her skin colour diminishes her chances of getting a job. Even though she hasn't got any money, Mumsy comes into the city to the office here to get help. Here, albinos can feel comfortable around each other.
We shouldn't be said, oh, we are different from other people. And that's why people don't regard us as handicaps. They ask us, you said you're handicaps, where are you handicapped? You can manage to do anything. So I don't see the reason why should we just feel sorry for ourselves. Just have to accept it. That's the way life it is.
But it's not always so simple. Mamoketi became pregnant when she was 19. When she gave birth to an albino boy, she was shocked. There had been no other albinos in her family. Her friends left her. She didn't want to accept her son. Paseka developed like a normal child.
I was surprised, I was shocked, but I just tell myself that, okay, it's mine, I've got him and there's nothing wrong with him.
Her mother looked after the young child so Mamoketi could finish her schooling.
No, they say my baby is an alien, you see, some kind of things like that. It's not a human being, it's an alien. But I didn't say anything, I just keep quiet.
Many people do not want to accept those who look different from themselves, but they never think of how terrible it must be for the mother of such a child. In Africa, it's particularly difficult for albinos. They don't belong to any population group, black or white. But hopefully, with more information campaigns about albinos in years to come, the 2-year-old Paseka will have an easier life in South Africa than his fellow albino sufferers.
Yeah,